Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of Cuisine de Michel. I am Michel. Today I'm making a video that we made. It was our very first video here on the channel, but we wanted to remake it because, as you'll see if you have seen the older one, or if you want to go visit the older one, the quality of our filming wasn't there, of course, because we just started out and we didn't even know kind of what we were doing. So we wanted a chance to make this video a little bit better and also possibly a little shorter. So anyway, this is going to be slow cooker pork and sausage meatballs. These are the ingredients you need for this recipe. You'll need fresh breadcrumbs, sweet vermouth, ground pork, sweet Italian sausage, Parmigiano-Reggiano, an egg, dried oregano, rubbed sage, which is dried, kosher salt, and this is going to be freshly grated nutmeg, so you'll need a nutmeg nut to grate. Crushed tomatoes. They don't have to have the basil. This is just one that I need to use up, so I'm going to do that. And tomato paste, porcini mushrooms that are dried thyme, fennel seed, and crushed red pepper. Let's get started. First step is to take, this is 1.5 cups of fresh breadcrumbs. I'm going to put those in a large bowl. To that, we're going to add 1/2 cup of the sweet vermouth. We're going to give that a stir so that it can get combined. And then we're going to let this rest for 20 minutes so that it gets fully absorbed. Now that we've waited the 20 minutes, we're going to be adding in, this is 1 pound of ground pork. And then this is the full, this is 5 links, which is 19 ounces of the Italian sausage. So if you're using links, you're going to want to take that skin off of them so that you can put the sausage into the bowl. So now we're going to try to kind of stir our breadcrumbs and stuff, kind of mix mash this together. You might want to use your hands depending. Next, we'll be adding in 1 egg, 6 tablespoons of Parmigiano-Reggiano, 1 teaspoon of rubbed sage, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of the fresh ground or grated nutmeg. And give that a stir. Now we will make the sauce here in the slow cooker. We're going to add the entire 28-ounce can of the crushed tomatoes, which is a variation from what I did last time. I put a note that I wanted to use this whole thing the next time I made it. So we're going to see if this does indeed come out better with the whole can, which I think it will. Then we have 1/4 cup of tomato paste. One teaspoon of oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, 1/2 ounce of porcini mushrooms that you've kind of crushed up. They don't have to be completely crushed, but it just says crush up. And 1/4 teaspoon of dried red pepper flakes. So we're just going to give that a stir so all of those can be together. And I'm going to go ahead and set the cooker to high. That's where we're going to start it. And while I have that heating up, I'm going to be forming my mixture for the meatballs into 12 meatballs. Each one of those meatballs, I'm going to be nestling in the sauce. Let's see here. And try to give a good idea about size. So that's going to be about 6 apiece. 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. These are pretty good sized meatballs, by the way. So it looks kind of like that. And then you just take the meatball and nestle it in the sauce. We'll do that for all 12. I've now got all of those nestled in there. I think I actually ended up with 13, so you know, it doesn't have to be exactly 12, but so you just want all the meatballs to be approximately the same size. After you've got those nestled down in the sauce like that, put your lid on. And as I said, this will be on high. You're going to leave it on high for 1.5 hours, then change it down to low for an additional 5 hours. Quick note, I accidentally left out there's supposed to be 1/2 teaspoon of fennel seeds. My apologies. I'm going to go ahead and add those in, kind of give it a stir. It has been the whole time, so the 1.5 hours on high and then 5 hours on low. I've stirred it a couple of times, but you can see I have a pretty good layer of the oil on top of here. So what I'm going to do is to use a paper towel and try to get that off of there. Also, you can use a little bit of a spoon method, whichever method you like for removing your oil layer. But I'm going to do that, and then we will see you at final plating. And here we are at final plating. So of course I made some spaghetti to go with my meatballs. You could have the meatballs by themselves, but I think the spaghetti and meatballs is definitely what I choose. And I was successful. It took about 3 amounts of paper towel soaking to get that oil layer off the top, but it did just fine that way, just an FYI. Let's have a taste test and see how this is. Get a little bit of my, I can't get into the meatball. There we go. It's like, can I get into this meatball or not? Get a little bit of the sauce there with it. And we'll see how that is. Oh, that is so incredibly good. Just as good as I remember it being when we made this on our first video. So again, still an awesome recipe, and definitely the extra amount of the crushed tomatoes is the right choice for this. It helps surround those meatballs, the whole thing. And I hope you enjoyed this new version of the video, and that you will join us for other episodes of Cuisine with Michelle. Give this video a like, please subscribe to our channel, and share this with other people so that they can subscribe too. Leave us a comment, and we'll see you next time. Au revoir.